everyone, I'm Kimberly from Dirt Floor Fibers and welcome or welcome back. Thank you for joining me on this Saturday, August 10th, I think, something like that. I've kind of lost track of the days at this point, but I have a market tomorrow, so I am definitely in prep mode. I would normally say that I'm in panic mode because of like how little I've actually gotten done, but you know what? I just don't have the energy to panic about anything right now. It is what it is. My apologies for kind of dropping off the radar for the last, I don't know, like couple of months. I've told you guys in past videos that this has pretty much been like the worst year of my life, hands down, like not even exaggerating. And it just continues to like, fall off the cliff, burst into flames. It is like, it's horrible. I won't go into details because there are a few things that are still a little up in the air and I hate like feeling unsettled, and we don't need that negativity in our lives right now. But for anybody who needs to hear it, or if you don't need to hear it, but maybe I just need to say it for myself, if you're ever in a point where things cannot get any worse and then they get worse and you're like, what is the point? Why am I even bothering? Like, I should just throw in the towel and, whatever at this point. Get mad, find a passion for something and kind of tell the universe, you suck and I'm not going to deal with this anymore, because through spite, all things are possible. Get angry and just do it and get through, and don't let anything or anyone get you down. So that is the depressing part of today's vlog. We'll move fast and we will crochet and we will get some stuff done and it'll be great. We got this. You got this. We all got this, okay? The world has been on fire for like 4 years. So we just got to get used to the heat and go to the beach. Yes. All right. So that being said, I did get some progress done on some knitting projects that have been hanging over my head. I actually finally finished my Adventina shawl from my Hedgehog Fibers advent that I was working on starting back in December. It is gigantic. It is fabulous. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it is fabulous. I have mixed feelings about it. I still need to block it. So I will eventually do like a knitting video, but because I have a market tomorrow and it's August, we are going to concentrate on crochet today. I have found, let's go back to June. Okay. So I didn't do any like filming or anything for my July market. Because again, everything was like on fire and had nothing prepped. It was ridiculously hot. They were predicting like pop-up thunderstorms and I'm like, this is stupid. So I literally brought probably a 4-foot table, had a little tablecloth over it. I've got a cool like tiered display stand. I think I showed that to you guys when I did the Daffodil Festival. So I pulled it out again. Didn't even bring one of my metal shelves or anything and just put things out on that table. It was not a busy market. It wasn't a horrible market. I mean, there was plenty of like nice people to talk to, and the weather, while it was perfectly hot, it didn't like storm or anything, so I can't complain about that. And I made back my booth fee, so that was fine. But it was not super busy. Although in my head, I had a lot more stuff left over from that market, and I've pulled it all out and there's not as much as I thought. My bag that I've been using, I got them off Amazon, and they're basically like storage or moving bags. I think I've linked it before. It's Creative Green Life is what the tag said. You can't see that, it's okay. But they're just off of Amazon. And I've been liking these instead of like bags or tubs or anything. And I got really upset too because I had some leftover yarn, like hand-dyed yarn, that I put in one of those big, like, hefty, like, Ziploc giant storage bags, and it was in my car for a while. It was, like, covered up so, like, wouldn't fade or anything, but the car got hot, and something with the plastic in the bag made my yarn smell funky. So that stuff's been, like, set to the side. I'll have to, like, see if it airs out or like rewash it or something, or maybe I'll just keep it for myself and start over for the fall, but I didn't like that. But these bags I haven't had any issues with it like making my stuff smell funky, so that's been really good. But my bag, anyways, the point, get back to it. The point was my bag was pretty full, so I'm like, I've got plenty of plushies left over. I've got a good start. And then I opened the bag and I realized it was just like a bunch of yarn I had stuffed in there, and there was hardly any plushies left. So I wanted to go through and kind of see what it was that I had, because it's not what I thought I had. So let's start with some new things. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I usually do like some $5 kind of like pocket pals. There we go. There's so many kids at the market that I always feel bad when the kids like just have like $5 and there's nothing they can purchase because there's nothing you can get for $5 anymore, let alone handmade stuff at a market. Even if you're buying a cookie, that's gonna take your whole $5. So I'm dedicated to making sure that I have like a $5 section, but I want it to be cute. And so basically these things, I don't like make like any money off of them. They take like a lot longer to make because I want to make sure they're cute. Anyways, I think they're actually worth more than $5, but because I want to have like a section where it's affordable for people, because I think everybody deserves to be able to afford something handmade, I'm going to keep them at $5 for as long as humanly possible. This one has fluffies on it. But one of the things that I've really loved is this new pattern that I've been trying out. I cannot remember like the names of any of these patterns or where they're from. So I will like put it up on the screen or like link it somewhere or something. But I'm loving these like more realistic octopi. Look how cute that is. So many people do like a crocheted octo, and they're usually like the ones that look like a little Pac-Man or a little ghost. I think this is just, it's so cute. Like it's a little more Kraken-like, but he is absolutely adorable. And I made a ton of them last time. Not like a ton, but for me, I made a ton. And I thought I had more left. I just have these 3. And so I'm definitely gonna need to make some more of those tonight. So go ahead and put those in the bag. I also thought I had more turtles, but I only have 2. I've been making these like little mini ones. And again, this is like on my Pocket Pal $5 sort of table. I'm not sure how I feel about his eyes. I didn't like him when I was at the market, but now it's kind of grown on me maybe a little bit when I pulled it back out. I don't know. We'll leave it, and if it doesn't sell this time, I'll pull the eyes out and fix that. But that's the least of my worries right now. I have 2 of these left. I had made a ton of them before. The only thing I changed about this, so this is really great because it's very low sew. The body and feet and shell and everything are made in one go, and then you just have to sew the head on. See, his eyes are so much cuter. I think I made them too big on this one. See? I don't know, whatever. But it's all made in one piece, and then the head just gets sewn on, so it's super easy. The only thing I changed about the pattern is I added a little tail on him because this pattern didn't have a tail. So it looks a little silly, but I feel like he needs a tail. So he has a tail, and I just have 2 of those left. I thought I had more. All right, now on to some slightly larger items. I have had this ice cream cone for a little while. Everybody always picks it up and looks at it, but then it's like gotten put back. So I feel like I need to make a couple more in the more popular colors. I had like a strawberry one that was like a kind of a pink lemonade sort of color. I had one white with speckles, so it's kind of like a vanilla and sprinkles. I had a blue one that also had specks in it. And those all sold like right away, but Mr. Purple's been hanging in there. And I do have some like cones already made up, so it wouldn't take long to do a few more ice creams. So anyway, so I got one of those. And then this is also something new I was trying. It's a little chameleon pattern. And I kind of had mixed feelings about it. I feel like the tail's like too thick and needs like, maybe I need to stuff it less so it like rolls up more, but like the pattern had it just folded over like, I'm moving it on my side. I'm like, why can't you guys see it in the camera? It's because I'm moving the wrong side. It just kind of folds over once, which I like the ones that kind of spiral a little bit more. I found a different pattern for a mini chameleon, so I'm gonna try that out, hopefully tonight, and see if I like it more. I don't know if it's just because like, I don't know if I just don't like the eyes or if it's like the shape of the head, or it was also the first one that I made. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I've got him left. I've only made one, so I didn't sell any of those. I made a whale. My other one that I had sold pretty quickly, but this one is a different pattern. I used the All From Jade pattern on this one, And I did the version where the tail is kind of like over to the, like it's not straight out, it's over to the side a little bit, which I really like that extra detail. It makes it like just a little bit more animated. And then it seems like people have asked about like larger whales for babies. And so I did like the sleepy eye instead of putting in an eye. So I really like the way that that came out. So I have him left. And then I've got my current favorite bee pattern. So this is Oak and Marlow, I think. Again, I'll put in like the name and the pattern and everything. It's called like the Jelly Bee or something like that. I love the shape of it. Like, I think that is so cute. I did make a couple changes. It is supposed to be no-sew. The wings are made first and then you crochet them in. But when I crocheted them in the first time, like I couldn't get them, like it didn't line up in the pattern correctly. And I just felt like I couldn't get them in the right spot and they laid kind of funky. And then you're supposed to like tack down the back with one of the ends. And so I ended up doing now, and I've done this for several of these, is just sewing these on afterwards. It doesn't take that long in the grand scheme of things. And I felt like I had more control over the placement. So I might eventually try crocheting them in again. But for right now, I have no problem with sewing. It also bothered me that in the pattern, the bee only has 4 legs. So, if you can see. So that middle one isn't there in the real pattern. And it's because you work the black stripe and you do a leg, and there's another black stripe and you do the leg. But it's a bee. It needs to have 6 legs. Can't have 4. So I ended up adding in just one more, and I did it like on the back, so it goes on the back row of each black stripe. So I also did one on the back row of the yellow stripe. And so anyways, I think that looks just like so much better. I'm still working on getting the placement just right. As you can see, they kind of like go to the side a little bit, but that's okay. It's a work in progress, and from when it's sitting like this, you can't like see it. So I think he looks super cute, but I've got one of him. Then, kind of disappointed by this project. This is one of the Poms and Posies, I think, mermaids. And I do like the way that she came out. It took forever. But she's really pretty. But her head flops. So I don't know. I don't know. I tried to stuff the neck really well. Either the neck's too skinny or I didn't stuff it as well as I thought I did. I'm tempted to like get some yarn and like squish it down and like re-sew it so it's a little bit further down, and that might solve the wobble problem. But we'll see. Overall, she came out really cute though. I love the little like sea star for the hair, the little button pattern. So that's her. People are looking for bargains, it seems like, in the summer. July and August are always my worst month at like the farmers markets and things. So I think it's because it's hot and people aren't looking to buy something that's fuzzy. And I think people are bargain hunting. So a lot of people liked the I called her a mushroom, the mermaid. But when they saw the price tag, they were like, that's a little rich for my blood. And I'm not charging that much. So I put a price tag of $55 on her, which I think is entirely fair. I mean, look how big she is. Like, this is not a small handmade item. Like, this took hours to do. So I'm wondering if I fix her head, if maybe that will entice people to spend the extra money. Okay, sorry. Got distracted. And then the last thing I have left over from last time is my little mushroom. So I love like how the arms can like fold and tie around stuff. Its little cap pops up and down so you can kind of like give him a little attitude. And then he has butt cheeks. I'm still working on getting like the perfect bum shape, but they're fun. I thought I had frogs by the same pattern designer left over because I had made more. I didn't make more. I had made several, and I, for the first time, did one in like a non-frog color. I've been experimenting with different color greens, but this time I had like a purple one. And I thought I didn't sell out of them. So when I was making I don't know what to call them, like crochet skins. Like I tend to like crochet a lot of the bodies and then I go back and pop the eyes in, stuff them, and finish them off. I didn't make very many of the frogs because I thought I had more, because I thought I didn't sell out, but apparently I sold out of all of them. So just have my little mushroom guy here for that. And then I do have one turtle, and this is a Crochet by Jenna turtle. Not real super thrilled with how his head came out. That was user error, not pattern error. But I think it's okay. Somebody will love him. I had one more that I did sell that day, but he stayed, so he's super cute. So I've got some more crocheting to do. I'm actually gonna go downstairs first. I wish like the light were brighter in here. I don't know if I can like brighten me up a little bit. I think it's because I have the window behind me. I'm gonna go downstairs and make, oh no, I got darker. How did that even happen? Can I like change angles? Ignore the mess. I don't know. Look how nice it is outside though. Okay, well we're supposed to be dark for right now. Hopefully later it will brighten up when the sun goes down and my overhead light's doing a little bit more work. So I'm gonna go downstairs. Yesterday I made Philly cheesesteak sloppy joes. They're not really Philly cheesesteak like, but they're delicious. So I'm gonna go heat that up and have that for lunch/dinner because I haven't had lunch or dinner yet, and it's like 2 o'clock, probably 3 o'clock at this point. And then I've got some other things to do. One big project for today, crochet related, is painting some safety eyes. So I want to jump on that trend a little bit. And I had a while ago ordered a bunch of like clear eyes, and I have like glitter paints and like all kinds of fun stuff. But with everything going on, I just haven't gotten a chance to do anything about it, because I thought that would also be fun to have those for sale at market. And so I have been also putting off finishing my giant turtle. As you can see, he is headless. I have a second one of these that just needs like the bottom part finished, and its fins sewn in, and obviously the head. There's more to it than what I thought. But I have all the pieces, and it just needs to be like assembled and finished crocheting it all together. But I didn't have any eyes that were big enough for the head, because the head, let me grab it, looks like this, okay? And according to the pattern, the pattern calls for a size 30 millimeter eye. And I'd ordered safety, like the clear safety eyes in all kinds of sizes, like every size you could possibly need so I could paint them, except for a size 30. And I was like, what was I thinking? Like that's why I bought these, so I could have eyes. And then I did get 25 millimeter. And so I was like, okay, it's a little bit small, but like we'll make it work. And then I was like, I do have a container, which I had showed you guys. Oh my gosh. Panic. I had showed you in another video where I was organizing all of my safety eyes. So I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure I have some giant like black eyes. And so maybe I'll just put like black eyes and then do like the little white and some blush or something to cute it up a little bit. And I did have the black eyes. But while I was in there, I was like, look, I do have some clear safety eyes that I apparently ordered at some point in time. And guess what? I have 30 millimeter clear ones. I was hoping I had the ones that were like offset. They're a little like derpy looking, but I only have the ones with the like that. So that's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna paint a couple sets of these. I don't know if they'll be dry enough to actually put them on the plushie for tomorrow, but if all else fails, at least then I have eyes to be able to finish these guys, and then I can put them together and have them at my next market. So I think these are going to be like a really good draw. I still have no idea how to actually price them, because they do take a little while to do. They take tons of material. I think I calculated, and there's like $40 worth of yarn in these things, and that's not including the safety eyes, the stuffing. So like, but you soon price yourself out of like people who are going to buy it, especially at this time of year. But I also don't want to like sell myself short. And then if I put the price up at Christmas, people will be like, oh, well, I only paid $50 for this last time. Why is it $70 this time? You know, whatever. So I'm gonna have to do a little more thinking and decide how much I want to sell these guys for. So By the way, did you guys notice my new shelf in the back? Finally got that put together. Love it. It fits almost perfectly in the corner. At least it fits anyway. It was a pain to put together. Like the frame went together pretty easily, except for like on this side, that side right there. The bolts are on the outside instead of facing inside where they're hidden. But when I looked at it, I was like, oh, did I put it together backwards? No, like that's the only way you can put it together, unless I'm stupid and that's actually not how you put it together, right? And then the shelves are such a tight fit that like you can't, like, yeah, I was like hitting them and like the other corner would pop up. And so some of them are just kind of like shoved in there as best I can. So it looks cute from afar, but just don't look at it up close. But anyways, this helped me get like a lot of my yarns up out of bags and things. I've got another shelf over here because I've been prepping. There's like stuff elsewhere. But yeah, so let's go get something to eat and then we'll get back to crocheting. I've got a bunch of things that are works in progress, so we'll see how much we can finish up tonight and then we'll go to market tomorrow. So let's go, team. All right, guys, it is morning of the market. It is 7:37. We are running approximately 30 minutes. Oh, that's nice. Someone away. 30 minutes behind schedule, but that's not the end of the world. I think I've told you before, this particular market, they changed how they're doing setup. And basically, they close the streets at 8. And between 8 and 9 o'clock, you can pull up to your spot, throw all your stuff out on the sidewalk, and then go park your car somewhere else. And then you are not allowed to actually set up in your space until 9 o'clock. So that gives everybody a chance to pull in, unload their stuff, and get out before people start blocking the road. Now, last month, it was a hot mess for a couple of reasons. First of all, there were a bunch of vendors who, after they got their stuff out of their car and went and parked somewhere else, started setting up their stuff in the street. And so it was really hard to get your car down the street. It was even worse in the afternoon. It was really, really hot. They actually had to call like an ambulance for somebody who got overheated, right, at least once, at least I could see like right down the street from where I was. So yeah, at the end, you're supposed to pack up all your stuff up onto the sidewalk, and then you can pull your car like into your booth space. It's hard to fit because they're like 10 by 10, so parallel parking with everybody else's junk around can get tricky, but you can get pretty close. And then you just throw all your stuff in your car and you're out in just a few minutes. But because it was so hot, people started lining up and stacking their cars and then breaking down directly into their car. So like their tents and stuff were still set up and they parked next to their tent, and so we're completely blocking the road, and like nobody could get through, and you could like only go in one direction, and God forbid somebody made a mistake and went the wrong way, and then now everybody was trapped. It was horrible. One lady got really mad because her kid like ran across the road in front of a car, and the car stopped. Like there was enough room, but it was scary for a moment there. So yeah, it was a hot mess, literally and figuratively. But anyway, so we're on the road this morning. I packed. So last month I told you in this video that last month I think I told you, a one table setup, like literally just a 4-foot table with a tablecloth and like one display stand on it. And I'm going to do that again this time. I don't have a ton of product, and so it's better, in my opinion, to have one tiny full table than to have like a big table or like a couple of shelves or whatever without any product on it. Now I do think that I forgot to tell you that one of the reasons why I've just brought plushies the last couple of months is because it's so, I don't know if it's like the same everywhere, but you know, it's hot in Virginia, and so it seems like people are not buying as much yarn during the summer months as they do like spring, fall, winter. And so it's a lot of lugging yarn around, and you like risk people dropping it on the ground or getting wet if there's a pop-up storm, or the labels getting smushed, whatever. And you know that like nobody's gonna buy any of it. And so rather than do that, the last couple of markets I've just brought my plushies, and then that way it's also giving me a chance to kind of stockpile, is that the right word? Create inventory for the fiber festivals in the fall. So yeah, so that's just making it a little bit easier. I did pack up my plushies a little bit differently than usual. I showed you the blue moving bags, right? You can see one right behind me. But normally I'll like stuff my plushies and then like any yarn that I want to work on a project with into the same bag. But it ends up with like the plushies getting all squished and I have to dig through the yarn to find the plushies, and then sometimes I'm like digging through the bag later and I'm like, oh look, here's something else I can put out on the shelf. So it's just a pain. So this time I did one bag with plushies, and inside of that bag I'll tell you in a second, but I did not get as much done last night as I wanted to, and I still have some things that need some finishing, so I put those inside of bags inside the bag so I could tell a difference between what was finished and then what needed just a little something in order to put out. And then in the other bag I put any whips, like the ones that need to be finished in the regular plushie bag. Oh my gosh. Just need like a smile put on or like some face details. Anything that's like not stuffed, doesn't have eyes, things like that, went in the bag with all the yarn. So it's gonna be easier to like keep everything separated. I brought more yarn than I could possibly make anything with, but it'll give me plenty of options if I run out of something, or I don't know, just whatever my mood happens to be. So that's fine. Brought plenty of eyes with me, so that should be okay. Grab my computer with all my patterns on it. Although it's harder to set my computer up on the table when I do a one table display because the display's in the way, but we'll figure it out and we'll make it work. So what I got done last night, so I ended up staying up until like 1:40, and then I was like, ooh, you know what? I'm gonna go to bed now, and then I'm gonna get up at like 3 in the morning, and I'll work from 3 until 6, and then from 6 until 7, that'll give me time to shower, put everything in the car, whatever. Obviously, that didn't happen, because when does that ever happen? I realized as I was like pushing the yarn to the side of the bed and laying down, that I never checked payroll. And so it took, I don't even know how long, like 2 hours maybe less than 2 hours. I can't remember how long it was, but it like took all of my time I was supposed to be sleeping to check payroll, because payroll is due today. So it was very sad. So I decided, I'm like, okay, well, I'll sleep until 4. I'll sleep until 5. Well, I really don't have to get up until 6. So hence me running 30 minutes behind schedule and not getting anything done. But yeah, so when we get to the market, I'll put some finishing facial details on and I'll show you what new things I added last night. Really pleased with my work though. So yeah, okay, I'll check in with you when we get there. All right, so it's kind of hard to walk and talk and film at the same time because I am holding both my coffee and last night's leftover soda. So hands are kind of full, but that took me like 5 minutes tops to unload my car. It is so not busy today. I'm not sure if people are just getting here later than usual, because usually the street I have to drive up is like packed with people by this time. It's like, I don't know, maybe like 8:40-ish at this point. So I don't know if people are coming like at 9 or after 9, or if just a lot of people aren't here because it's August and they're like taking a month off or something. So I don't know. I hope there's still enough vendors to pull in a crowd. So we'll see what happens. Oh my gosh, guys. So it has taken me like 2 weeks to actually film a recap of this market. So apologies that we are now way in the future. But I went into this market with like 0 expectations. It was August. I didn't stay up as late or get up as early as I had planned to actually finish things. And I'm like, I've got like 3 items. Like you saw what I had finished and left over from the last market. It was like nothing. So I went with that one table setup again, as I said, I think. It went really well. Like, it was a really great day. The weather was like absolutely gorgeous. And anyway, I ended up finishing some more things while I was there and able to put them out. So let's take a look at what we had. So first of all, here's a little clip of my one table setup. Basically in it, sorry, I have my computer here with like my notes on it so I can remember like what order I did things in. So I had that little corner piece. I absolutely love this. I got it off of Etsy from someone, and I really want to get their, like, they have you can either get like the regular like straight ones, or you can get a corner one. And I figured the corner one had like more real estate for bang for your buck. So I got that one to test. It is really hard to get together. It's getting a little bit easier the more I practice with it, and the more you slide it in and out, it kind of like compresses the wood a little bit so it slips in and out easier. But it's so hard to put together. But once it's put together, it's solid, so you don't have to worry about that. So I had that little corner shelf, and then I had the little basket, and then I had all my checkout stuff behind the basket. So there was like not a lot of room to put stuff out, but considering I didn't have very much stuff, it was nice that my table at least looked full. I'm hoping for next month, I hope this is for every month, but I'm hoping for next month I have a little bit more so I can do like a little bit of a fuller setup. But so that's what that looked like. And then I started out by fixing the neck of my mermaid. And so I like Frankensteined her together with just like a little stitch around, and then I pulled it closed, and then I knotted it off right below her hair. I was using a white cotton yarn, and she has like a slightly darker skin tone, and I didn't want the white cotton yarn to show. So I tied it off by her hairline, and then I was able to like tuck the ends like underneath her hair. So that worked out really well. She wasn't perfect, but her head was less floppy than it was before. So she looks better. I think when I do this pattern again, it is like it's knit. No, it's not. It's crocheted up in one piece. I was thinking maybe if you've seen some of my other videos, or maybe you'll see it coming up, sometimes because I hate sewing stuff, I'll reverse engineer a head. And so like I'll do the body, and then rather than doing the head, I'll like connect them together. So I thought maybe I did that, and that's what the problem was. But I went back and looked at the pattern, and no, it is crocheted all in one piece according to the pattern. So I'm thinking the next time I do it, I might omit like a couple of decrease rows so it's not so thin between the head and the body. But she ended up selling. A little girl like walked up, and she's like thinking about which one she wants. She's picking it all up, putting it back down, and then she sees the mermaid. She picks it up and she hugs it, and she looks at her mom, and her mom's like, I knew it was gonna be the mermaid. And I'm like, it's 55, is that okay? And mom's like, oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, I love you. So little girl got the mermaid, so I'm hoping she's really enjoying that. Then after I got my mermaid out, I finished up a couple of pickles and put those out. Pickles from everybody else seem to not be like as popular as they used to be. But I sold both of my pickles. They've got the little blush and they've got the little arms. I did not put the little pickle bumpies on there in the pattern that I used. It's a Christmas pickle pattern actually. It doesn't have you do the bobble stitches to make the little bumpies. You're supposed to go back later and do like embroidery, I guess, to like add the bumps, and I was lazy and I didn't do that. But they actually kind of look cute the way they are, so I might continue to just leave it that way. Then I put out my Trunk the Turtles. I finished their faces. I had 3 of those guys to go out. I didn't like the sparkly kind of neon greeny yellow of the middle turtle that you saw there. It was really, really stiff, and it wasn't like as stretchy and soft as the other ones, but those guys sold as well. People loved the idea that they had like their little backpack shells, and then the little booties on the inside. So those were super cute. Then I had these slightly larger octopi to go out. Again, those ones I finished up in the mornings. All they needed were their eyeballs. And so I put their eyeballs in, and so they were ready to go out on the shelf. Those all sold except for one. Then I had 2 hammerhead sharks, one in this like white and blue speckle, and then a gray one. And there's these 2 little girls who I adore. I think I met them like the first week I was selling plushies, and I think they were selling like Girl Scout cookies or something, and so they were in town, and now every market that they're there, like they save up like all their money, and they're like, oh my gosh, and they come over, and they tell me like what new things I should try out, and they're just absolutely adorable. They're fantastic. I love them. This time they each bought a hammerhead shark, so they cleaned me out of my hammerheads, but it's a super cute pattern. And it's a nice like mid-size, so it's not like tiny, but it's not huge, and so it's a nice mid-size make. I really liked those. I sold both of those. Then I put out my one Snoozing Goose. This was kind of like a trial run. I wasn't sure, like, I thought it was really cute, but then I wasn't sure if it was really cute. Everyone loved it as soon as this went out, and it did go to a new home as well pretty quickly. It was not purchased for a baby. There was just like a young lady there who was like, oh my God, I love this. I have to have it. So I'm definitely gonna do more of these. And you can also mod the pattern and make it into like a flamingo or a mallard or other things like that. But I just love like the snoozing goose. And then what else did I have? I have these little chunky frogs. They did not have the booty on the back, which some people were a little disappointed by. I don't know if it would work the way they're shaped, but I do love, I don't know if you can see in any of the pictures, but like they've got the two little baubles on the front, and then on the back, there's like a series of like two baubles, or a bauble and like a foot. So it looks like it has like the little frog, like I can't really explain it. It's a super cute pattern and I really enjoyed making those and people love them. They're like stress ball sized. So those are great. Those all sold. I made one of my watermelon slices. The last time I brought these to markets, they both sold like right away. This time I only had a chance to finish up one and it did not sell, unfortunately, but it's super cute. I'm gonna make more for next month. And then here's my chicken. I finished up my chicken and put him out, just one. I don't know, there's something about finishing these chickens that like, I just can't. I don't know what it is. But they turn out super cute and it sold right away when I put it out. So that was cute. I've said cute like 12 times in this, it's fine. I put out two more octos out of the octos. I think these two didn't sell. I can't remember. We can see at the end. I think these two didn't sell, but I put out two more. And then I did like a little mini loaf cat. So I had done, sorry, I kicked my tripod. Like the bigger loaf cats. And this was like a little mini loaf cat. I put a little butt on the back and I really liked him. Anyway, so that one was made toward the end of the market as well. And that one did not sell. So in the end, let me see. I had a total of, I believe, if I counted correctly, 38 items. Of the 38 items, the 38 items were worth $544. Of those, 32 of the items sold, so I just had 6 left. So it was my big whale, the little tiny loaf cat, 2 of the auto octopuses, one of the larger, the gray octopus, and then my watermelon slice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is 6. And so I sold $452 worth of plushies out of 544. So I think it's going to be an interesting experiment. This might be something, if you're also like me and you're inconsistent in the amount of things that you can bring to market, like you're struggling to build up your inventory and you want to know kind of like, how do you judge your progress and how well you're doing if the number of plushies you bring varies wildly between markets? I, this time, looked at percentage. So I sold, and this was interesting, I sold 83% of my plushies. By value, I sold 84% of my value, which I thought it was really interesting that the number of plushies that I sold was almost identical to the value of the plushies sold. And I don't know, I'd have to math. Does anybody out there math? And you can tell me like how that works. But it would seem to me that like if you had lots of like $5 plushies, and then you had some bigger plushies and you sold mostly little plushies, but like your value for the bigger plushies didn't sell, I would think it would be like skewed, like your percentage of plushies sold would be higher than the percentage of your value sold. I'm not sure. I'd have to see how that worked out. But the way I'm reading it right now, it looked really balanced, that the number of plushies and the value of plushies that sold were really close to being the same. So that kind of tells me, I think, maybe, that I'm bringing the right ratio of small, medium, and large objects. So I'm curious. I'm going to keep doing this. I'll definitely do it for my next market, and then hopefully for later ones as well. And then kind of compare the percentage of what sells. And just kind of see, do I always sell 83% of my stuff? And does my value and number sold usually match? I think that would just be a really fun kind of analysis. So, all right, so that was this market. That's for August. September is coming up really fast. A lot of my weekends between the August market and the September market are eaten up. Like I'm literally not available to do any crochet. So it's gonna be a challenge to get everything done, but I'm feeling motivated right now. And I'm hoping I can just get some more stuff done. So fingers crossed, and I'll check in with you when we start our next market prep. So see you guys later.